a magical tale of dreams, love, and self-discovery, Paulo Coelho's world-famous novel The Alchemist. In this story, we journey alongside a young shepherd named Santiago, who sets off across the desert in search of his personal legend. The meaning of life, destiny, and the language of the heart all begin to unfold at every step of his journey. In this episode on ReadRoot, we'll listen to the complete story of The Alchemist, step by step, told in a deeply touching and heartfelt way. So, let's begin the journey to find our own dreams. Today, we begin the inspiring journey through Paulo Coelho's timeless novel The Alchemist. At the heart of this story is a young Spanish shepherd, Santiago. He roams the open fields of Andalusia with his flock of sheep, but his mind is always restless. He longs to read books, explore new places, and find the true meaning of his life. One day, he has a strange dream. A child appears and tells him to go to the pyramids, where a hidden treasure waits. Surprisingly, he sees the same dream more than once. This makes him wonder, was it just a figment of his imagination, or does the dream carry a deeper meaning? Santiago feels that maybe the dream is calling him toward a greater purpose. He decides to visit a gypsy woman who interprets dreams. She tells him that he must go to the pyramids in Egypt, because that's where his treasure lies. At first, Santiago is skeptical, but soon he meets another mysterious figure, the king of Salem, named Melchizedek. The king tells him that every person has a dream, something called a personal legend, the one thing a person is meant to accomplish in life. And if you truly desire something, the entire universe will conspire to help you achieve it. These words leave a deep impression on Santiago. He begins to believe that perhaps his dream is the real direction of his life. And from here begins his incredible journey, full of uncertainty, self-discovery, and wisdom. Santiago is eager to understand the meaning of the mysterious dream he keeps seeing. So, he visits a gypsy woman who interprets dreams. After examining his palm, she tells him that if he goes to the pyramids, he will find a hidden treasure there. However, in return, he must promise to give her 1/10 of whatever treasure he finds. At first, Santiago finds her word absurd and hard to believe. But then, something strange happens. One day, while sitting in a city marketplace, an old man appears before him and introduces himself as Melchizedek, the king of Salem. This mysterious king seems to know all about Santiago's dream, and even what he's been thinking. Santiago is astonished. The king tells him that every person has a personal legend, their true purpose or destiny. But most people never follow it, either because of fear or because they worry about what others will say. The king says, when you truly want something, the whole universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. He then gives Santiago 2 magical stones, Urim and Thummim, which will help him find answers when he's uncertain, offering yes or no guidance. Melchizedek offers a suggestion. If Santiago sells a few of his sheep, he will have enough money to begin his journey toward the pyramids. For the first time, Santiago begins to believe that his dream could actually come true. He realizes that perhaps the real meaning of his life lies hidden in this journey. And so, the young shepherd sets out, leaving behind the life he knew, guided only by his dream and a growing sense of faith. Santiago sells his sheep and, with the money he earns, begins his journey toward the pyramids of Egypt. He believes that the treasure from his dream is waiting for him there. But as soon as he enters a new land, he realizes that the path ahead is far from easy. Upon arriving in the city of Tangier, Santiago faces a huge setback. A thief tricks him and steals all his money. In an instant, he is left with nothing. This sudden misfortune throws his dream into turmoil. But Santiago refuses to give up. He understands that obstacles are a natural part of the journey, but the desire to fulfill his dream will keep him moving forward. With renewed determination, he starts looking for a new way to survive and continue his quest. Eventually, he finds work at a crystal merchant shop in Tangier, marking the beginning of a new chapter in his life. From the merchant, Santiago learns valuable lessons about patience, hard work, and the importance of small but meaningful steps in life. He witnesses how honest effort, over time, can lead to success. During this period, the fire of his dream reignites. He realizes that being betrayed and losing money were part of a greater learning experience. These setbacks made him stronger and increased his self-confidence. Santiago learns that life's journey is never a straight line. Often, one must face difficult situations, but it's essential to keep moving forward with faith in one's dream. At this stage, Santiago's journey becomes a deeper exploration of his own life. He begins to question what more he must do to fulfill his dream. And so, his journey continues through obstacles, with lessons learned, and with renewed hope in his heart. After overcoming his misfortune, Santiago begins working at a crystal merchant shop in Tangier. In this new environment, he tries to rebuild his life through hard work and focus. Over time, Santiago gradually learns various aspects of the business: how to sell crystal, how to build good relationships with customers, and how small investments can lead to profit. He is introduced to the merchant's patience and honesty, and through him, Santiago learns important lessons about life. Santiago realizes that to be successful in life, dreaming isn't enough. Hard work and patience are also essential. He reignites the fire within himself and strengthens his resolve to pursue his goal. Through his work, he learns how small steps can lead to big achievements. He notices that when you put full attention into each moment, the path to fulfilling your dream becomes clearer. During this time, deep questions begin to arise in his mind. What is the true meaning of my dream? Can I really fulfill my personal legend? But instead of being afraid, his faith becomes stronger. Santiago understands that life's journey is not easy, but with the right mindset and determination, any obstacle can be overcome. Through his work, he gains confidence and prepares himself to continue his journey forward. Now, with new hope, he begins planning his departure toward the desert, where his real test will begin. This chapter shows how important hard work and learning on the path to fulfilling one's dream. After completing his work at the crystal shop, Santiago sets off on his journey through the desert. Riding with a caravan, he ventures into the unknown, where scorching heat and endless sand will test him in every way. This journey is not only physical but also spiritual, as questions begin to arise in his heart. How will he fulfill his dream? One morning in the desert, while traveling with a caravan, Santiago meets a young man known simply as the Englishman. The Englishman is a scholarly and wise individual who deeply studies the mysteries of alchemy. He begins to explain to Santiago how to seek true knowledge and how to connect with the soul of the world. The Englishman shares his books and his research, telling Santiago that all of creation is connected by a single, unified source. Those who genuinely seek knowledge can eventually merge with that source. These ideas touch Santiago's heart, and he becomes eager to learn more. Amid the dry winds of the desert, a new sense of hope rises within him. He must learn how to fulfill his personal legend. His conversations with the Englishman become a meaningful learning experience, opening his eyes to deeper truths. As the caravan continues its journey, Santiago prepares himself to receive more profound knowledge. Along the way, he learns the importance of patience, awareness, and trusting his own intuition. At this stage, Santiago's confidence grows, and he realizes that his journey is no longer just about finding treasure. It's about walking the true path of the soul. In the solitude of the desert, Santiago's journey begins to take on deeper meaning. He seeks to understand how everything in existence comes together to form one great universe, what Paulo Coelho calls the soul of the world. The Alchemist teaches him that true alchemy is not merely the transformation of metals, but the transformation of the soul. It is a process through which a person overcomes inner fears, struggles, and darkness to discover the light of truth within. The concept of the soul of the world reveals that the earth and all living beings are deeply interconnected. We are all part of one vast universe, and its language is spoken through feelings, dreams, and love. When a person follows their personal legend, they move in harmony with this greater world. The Alchemist teaches Santiago how to understand this universal language. It is simple, yet profoundly deep. Every element of nature, wind, water, fire, and earth, serves as a medium of communication. When we listen with the depths of our hearts, this language becomes clear. Santiago comes to realize that fulfilling a dream is not just about finding material treasure, but about achieving spiritual wholeness. This realization makes him stronger and more at peace. In this chapter, the Alchemist shows us that true knowledge is a union of soul and nature, where everything has meaning. Santiago continues on the path of learning, where every step uncovers deeper truths of life. As Santiago continues his journey through the desert, he meets Fatima, a young woman native to the oasis. Their eyes meet in a moment that feels destined. Gradually, Santiago's feelings for her deepen, and he realizes that love is not just an emotion, it carries a profound meaning in life. Fatima teaches him that true love is about supporting one another's dreams, where one person helps the other fulfill their personal legend. But the path of love is not easy. Fatima tells him that she will wait for him if he chooses to complete his journey and return. Her words awaken a deep sense of responsibility and a new strength in Santiago's heart. Through his relationship with Fatima, Santiago learns that love is not an obstacle, but a source of courage and inspiration. He realizes that love will not stop his journey. It will push him forward with greater purpose. At this stage, Santiago experiences an inner conflict, how to find the right balance between love and the pursuit of his dream. He understands that both love and dreams are important, and he must honor them both equally. Fatima's love becomes a guiding force for him, helping him through the harsh tests of the desert. This love teaches him that in life's journey, it's not just about the dream. It's also about the relationships and trust we build along the way. And thus, Santiago learns that the true meaning of love is freedom and honoring each other's dreams. In the heart of the desert, Santiago's journey becomes deeper and more complex when he meets the Alchemist. The Alchemist is a wise man, devoted to the search for life's truths and the ancient art of transforming metal into gold. Santiago begins traveling with him, and the Alchemist teaches him that true power and knowledge come from within. He explains that the greatest battle is overcoming fear, because fear is what keeps people from following their dreams. The Alchemist tells Santiago that life is a great test, and to pass it, one must learn to listen to their own heart. He teaches him how to understand the language of the universe, a language spoken through feelings and signs from nature. Along the way, they face various dangers and challenges, but the Alchemist always stands by Santiago, encouraging him and strengthening his courage. He teaches him the value of patience, self-confidence, and unwavering determination. Though Santiago is burdened by fear and doubt, under the Alchemist's guidance, he gradually moves forward. He begins to understand that the true treasure is not just material wealth, but the growth of the soul. By walking with the Alchemist, Santiago learns a deeper meaning of life, that every moment offers a lesson and every step is an opportunity for spiritual growth. In this part of the journey, Santiago's quest becomes a spiritual exploration, where he begins to discover the light within himself and grows more determined to fulfill his personal legend. Santiago and the Alchemist continue their journey through the harsh desert landscape, but the path is anything but easy. The scorching sun, shifting sands, and relentless winds make their journey dangerous and exhausting. Amid threats from other caravan members and constant uncertainty, Santiago battles with fear and doubt within himself. He realizes that in this journey, inner strength, not just physical endurance, is the greatest challenge. One day, their caravan is suddenly attacked by warriors. Santiago is forced to risk his life in self-defense. In that moment of danger, he discovers new dimensions of his own limits and capabilities. During this crisis, the Alchemist tells him, "Overcome your fear, for fear is the greatest enemy." He teaches Santiago how to harness his inner strength to protect himself and others. In these moments of hardship, Santiago learns the meaning of surrender, not giving up, but letting go of fear, doubt, and limitations, and moving forward with complete trust. This surrender brings him new strength and a sense of inner freedom. This moment of danger and surrender in the desert becomes a pivotal chapter for Santiago. It is here that he finds his inner light and understands that life is not just an external journey, but also a profound inner one. Now, Santiago is ready to take the next step, to discover where his true treasure is hidden. At last, after a long and challenging journey, Santiago arrives near the pyramids, enduring the scorching heat and storms of the desert. He believes that here, at last, his life's treasure awaits, the gold and riches from his dreams. But fate presents him with yet another difficult test. As he reaches the pyramids, Santiago encounters a group of suspicious men who deceive him. They claim they can foresee things and begin asking him about his treasure. Trusting them, Santiago shares the story of his dream and the treasure he seeks. But instead of helping, they rob him, taking his money and belongings, and then leave him behind. This betrayal is a major blow for Santiago. He realizes that the obstacles on life's path aren't only physical, but also come in the form of deception and betrayal. In that moment, he is filled with despair and begins to question the meaning of his journey. But deep within, a flicker of hope still remains. His dream has always guided him, and perhaps it still holds the truth. This experience teaches Santiago that external signs can be misleading, and true treasure might be hidden elsewhere. His journey is not over. Nothing is truly lost. With this hope, Santiago prepares to find his way once again. He now understands that the greatest lessons of his journey are patience, faith, and trust in the strength of the heart. Even after such a heavy setback, Santiago does not lose confidence. He knows that his personal legend is not yet fulfilled, and he is ready to move forward with renewed determination. After being deceived at the pyramids and feeling disheartened, Santiago sits lost in thought, when suddenly a stranger appears before him. The man is a thief, yet his words ignite a new light in Santiago's life. The thief shares that he once had a dream. On the other side of the desert, near a ruined church, there was a tree under which a treasure was buried. Santiago's heart starts racing. He realizes that the true treasure might be much closer than he ever imagined. This moment becomes a turning point. Santiago realizes that the treasure isn't at the pyramids, but rather back where his journey began, near the ruins of a church in Andalusia. This realization carries a powerful message. The greatest treasures in life often aren't far away. They lie within us or close to our roots. He recalls that his very first dream carried a symbolic, deeper meaning, not just a literal map to gold, but a spiritual guide. Now, Santiago's belief in his dream becomes even stronger. He understands that the true value of his journey wasn't just in seeking wealth, but in the growth, wisdom, and experiences he gained along the way. Inspired by the thief's words, Santiago decides to return with renewed hope, courage, and understanding. His eyes shine with a new light, filled with purpose. This chapter of The Alchemist teaches us that sometimes what we seek far away is actually waiting for us at home. Though Santiago's journey isn't over yet, he has gained the most important lesson of his life. After hearing the thief's story and realizing where his true treasure is hidden, Santiago decides to return. Instead of searching near the pyramids, he heads back to the ruined church where his journey had first begun. After traveling a long distance, Santiago finally arrives once again at that old church in Andalusia. There, he begins digging under the tree mentioned in the thief's dream. After some time, he discovers a treasure buried in the ground, a clay jar filled with gold coins, jewels, and priceless riches. In that moment, Santiago understands that the true treasure is not just material wealth, but also the lessons and experiences he gained throughout his journey. Even after finding the physical treasure, Santiago realizes that the real meaning of his journey was about following his personal legend and discovering the true purpose of life. He understands that the greatest reward in fulfilling one's dream is self-awareness and confidence. Santiago feels a deep sense of peace and joy. He knows that every step of the journey brought him closer to himself and taught him the most valuable lessons of life. Now, he is ready to begin the next chapter, returning to his true love, Fatima. This chapter of The Alchemist teaches us that sometimes life's most precious treasures are hidden in places we least expect. All we need is the right perspective and the courage to find them. Though the journey of The Alchemist ends here, its message is eternal and profound. Santiago teaches us that everyone has a personal legend, a personal dream, and fulfilling it is the greatest purpose of life. The story clearly tells us that when we truly desire something, the entire universe conspires to help us achieve it. But on the path to fulfilling that dream, we must face many obstacles and tests. Fear, doubt, and failure may try to stop us, but patience and faith are the keys to success. Santiago's journey is not just a tale of travel and adventure. It's a story of self-discovery and understanding the deeper meaning of life. He shows us that true treasure isn't only external. Success, love, wisdom, and self-confidence are the real jewels of life. In each chapter of the story, we learn the importance of listening to our inner voice and never underestimating our dreams. Because just like Santiago, we are all alchemists of our own lives, capable of turning our dreams into reality. In the end, the alchemist reminds us that life is about the journey, not just a destination. The path itself holds life's greatest lessons and joys. So, follow your dreams, conquer your fears, and believe that your journey will lead you to success. At ReadRoot, we'll continue learning life lessons through literature, together, with you. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today. The Alchemist teaches us that following our dreams is the true purpose of life. Like Santiago, may you too discover your personal legend and overcome your fears. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and share, and subscribe to ReadRoot for more amazing stories. You'll love and support our greatest inspiration. We'll meet again with another beautiful book story. Until then, keep dreaming and keep moving forward. Thank you, and take care.